Hi, this is Will from Morrison Watercolors. If you are a watercolor artist like me, you have probably been searching and searching and searching for the perfect watercolor sketchbook. Guys, I have some good news. The wait is over. I have finally found what I believe is the perfect commercial watercolor sketchbook. So before I reveal what I believe is the best watercolor sketchbook on the market today, you should know that I am a big proponent of making your own sketchbook. I don't know if there is a sketchbook on the market today that can actually top the one that you make yourself. Here's why I feel that way. There are some very significant advantages to making your own sketchbook. First and foremost, when you make your own sketchbook, you are the one that is in control. You get to choose what paper is going in your sketchbook. Also, you get to choose the size of the paper. And in addition, you get to choose the number of pages in your sketchbook. How can any commercial sketchbook compete with that? Well, sometimes it is just fast and easier to buy a ready-made sketchbook. Here is a look at some of the many watercolor sketchbooks that I have tried over the years. Which one is my new favorite? Let's get to it and find out. Okay, so my new favorite sketchbook is in this stack. We're going to go through these kind of fast and also get a little help from the Grinch.
Alphabetically.
Hahnemuhle Akademie Aquarelle.
I hate you!
Stillman Birn Beta Series.
I hate you.
Etchr Sketchbook A5.
Hate, 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 hate.
Canson Montval.
Double hate.
Strathmore 500 Mixed Media Paper.
I hate you.
Canson XL.
Loathe entirely.
Etchr Sketchbook A4. It's actually pretty decent. Kilimanjaro Paint Book. Not quite. Wait, back up the tape. Just kidding, everyone. This Kilimanjaro sketchbook is the bomb. What a fantastic sketchbook. It is fabulous. Let me tell you why. First off, this sketchbook is the perfect size for me. It measures 12 by 9 inches in size and is in landscape format. The paper is Kilimanjaro 140-pound watercolor paper, 100% cotton, cold press. Looking inside the sketchbook, the first thing that you're going to see is a little insert that reads, "Chronicle your journey artistically." Feel free to pause the video here if you want to read the rest of the insert. Without beating around the bush, let me tell you what I really like about this sketchbook. Not only is it stocked with 20 sheets of high-quality watercolor paper, it also comes intermingled with 20 sheets of lighter, 70-pound sketch paper, which is perfectly suited for note-taking, value studies, thumbnail sketching, and any other use you may come up with. In addition, the first page of this sketchbook is a thick 300-pound sheet of watercolor paper, which is intended to serve as the actual cover of the sketchbook. Just look at how thick this cover sheet is in comparison with the sketch paper and the regular 140-pound watercolor paper. Just wow. So this is what I came up with for my first page. Anytime I do a brand new sketchbook, I always want to have something on the first page that I either really like the subject or I put a lot of time and effort into doing, because when you open up that sketchbook, that's the first page that you're going to see. So that's kind of my working philosophy on the first page of sketchbooks. Anyway, to get a really good feel for this sketchbook, I wanted to paint on the first sheet of paper, the 300-pound sheet. Until now, I've never actually painted on 300-pound watercolor paper. What a treat! And here's some more footage of me painting this first page of the sketchbook. And there we are. The first page is finished. Cool. So I like painting on this 300-pound paper so much that I decided to paint on the back side of the page. I wanted to see how it would hold up. It did very well. Take a look. I like using the lighter 75-pound sketch paper for notes. So here I have recorded the dates these paintings were made, as well as some other information such as the title of the paintings, the colors used, and so on. Of course, the whole reason I bought this sketchbook was because of the 140-pound Kilimanjaro watercolor paper that I am accustomed to painting on, which has become my favorite watercolor paper. This is the paper that I use for my homemade sketchbooks. I love painting on it, and I couldn't believe my luck when I found this sketchbook online. So far, I have done one painting on this paper, and I'm really excited to keep going and filling up this sketchbook. Here's a sneak peek of that painting, which will actually be the next video I post on my channel. So let me give you some quick thoughts and impressions on why some of these other sketchbooks don't really stack up very well with the Kilimanjaro sketchbook. First up is a sketchbook from Hahnemuhle. This one has cellulose paper, 30 sheets, the size is A5, and it just doesn't work for me. I couldn't get the results that I wanted, just not my favorite sketchbook. Next up is Stillman Birn. This is their Beta series sketchbook. It is really more of a mixed media sketchbook. This is their 8.5 by 5.5 size sketchbook. It has 26 sheets of paper, cold press, and I got some pretty good results, but mostly I would say it works well with light washes of watercolor, not a lot of layering, pen and ink with watercolor on top. It's okay. It turned out okay, but it's just not my favorite. It is a good beginner or intermediate level sketchbook. The Montval watercolor sketchbook from Canson is also okay. It is pretty good paper, but it's not cotton paper. This is cold press, 8.5 by 5.5, 140 pounds. I got some pretty good results from it. I like it more as a practice sketchbook. The paper buckles pretty quickly when you use it for washes. Just not my favorite paper to do some finished pieces on, but I like to use it for swatching and for quick sketches. Etchr is up next. Etchr is pretty good paper, and this is actually a really good sketchbook. I usually get good results painting in it. The paper is Fabriano paper, which I like painting on. I would say it is probably my second favorite sketchbook as far as commercial sketchbooks go. It is fairly expensive though, and usually it is sold in packs of 3, which makes it even more expensive to buy. But you can buy just a single sketchbook on Amazon. It comes in 3 sizes. The smallest size is good for travel size. The largest is good for larger pieces, naturally. The white cover can be painted on if that's something that you might want to do. I haven't done it because I don't really like the texture of it for painting on, but it's a well-built and pretty sturdy sketchbook. I just prefer the Kilimanjaro sketchbook over this one, especially if you can get the Kilimanjaro sketchbook on sale. Next up is the Strathmore Mixed Media Art Journal. This is their 500 series sketchbook. It has a vellum finish. This is decent for a sketchbook, but once again, it is more of a mixed media sketchbook. I got some good results painting with it, but it can't really handle a lot of washes for watercolor. Once again, maybe light washes and not a lot of layering. It does tend to buckle. It is good for mixed media. Actually, really good for mixed media. I love drawing in it. It does a good job with monochromatic painting, and it's okay. And now we have the Canson XL sketchbook. What to say about this sketchbook? Well, it's cellulose paper. This one is 7 by 10 inches in size, 140 pounds. And to be honest, I don't really like this paper very much. I haven't gotten very good results with it. I've been using it mostly for swatches, testing out and recording new colors, but this is not my favorite, and it's probably practice paper at best. I would call it student grade paper. It's pretty hard, but actually has a nice feel to it. It just doesn't handle layers very well. It doesn't handle a lot of washes, and it just hasn't worked very well for me. I don't prefer it, wouldn't recommend it. The price is right. It's usually pretty affordable paper, but in my opinion, it's really useful for practicing and not for any finished pieces. Okay, so back to this Kilimanjaro sketchbook. What a terrific sketchbook. It really is. Now, some people, I think, may not be a big fan of the spiral binding. Maybe for them that's a hard pass, but for me it's not. I think it works actually pretty well with this sketchbook, especially given its large size. Incidentally, the sketchbook does come in a smaller size, 10 by 5.5 inches, and it also comes in a 9 by 12 portrait version as well. I prefer the 12 by 9 landscape version myself, which is the one I have featured in this video. If you don't like the bright white paper, which I do, you can also get this sketchbook with natural white paper instead. About the only downside with this sketchbook, in my opinion, is that it is hard to find. As far as I know, the only place that you can buy it from is from Cheap Joe's. It is sold online and is often out of stock and in high demand. But if you can get your hands on it, especially if you can find it on sale, I would highly recommend it. It is that good. So now I am curious to hear from you. Have you tried this sketchbook? If so, what did you think about it? What sketchbook would you recommend for watercolor art? As always, I would love to hear from you. Until next time, take care and happy painting. Ciao, ciao.